Good. Okay, so I will call to order this meeting of the Budget and Finance Subcommittee of the Greenfield School Committee at 12:31 p.m. on I'm going to keep my video off in hopes that I will stop being kicked off of this. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so this meeting was called to order a minute ago, and we have one item on the agenda today, which is to review a proposed annual budget development calendar to be brought to the school committee for approval this week. So let's see, I'm going to try to share. Oh, okay. Well, I can't share unless you enable participant screen sharing, I think, Karen.
I'm trying, but it might be easier if I share for you, but let me
Okay.
see.
Yes, go ahead. I just wanted to bring up the
I
calendar.
gave you options if you can now.
Okay. Still not working for me, so maybe you should just share. So as everyone will recall, the committee has talked about creating an annual budget development calendar, the purpose for which is to help people better understand the different moving parts that work together over the course of a year that lead to the development of our school budget in terms of actions that are taken by the school committee, school administration, things that happen at the state level. And if we wanted to get really complicated, we could bring in the federal, but we won't do that. So I hope everyone's had a chance to take a look at the calendar that's in the materials. Yeah, as you can see, there is a front page which features some well-curated pictures that I asked for from Karen of our students, which I had seen in use in other school committees, and I thought it was a great idea because our students are what this process is all about, and I wanted to center it on them. So that is the inspiration for the cover page, and then the second page contains the actual calendar itself. As you can see, it is color coded so that there's a clear delineation between things that are happening at the city level and things that are happening within the school committee, actions that are taken by the school administration, and a little bit about how the state budget development process plays a role. Obviously, we cannot include every single action that is taken by every one of those entities in the course of budget development, because that would just be way too long. This is just filed down to the things that are the most important for people to know and understand about the development of the school budget. So that is the second page, and I just highlighted on the little calendar pages at the top our regular school committee meetings, as well as some of the important dates that are spelled out in the calendar below at the other levels. And then finally, the third page is like frequently asked questions based on things that have come across the school committee's radar in terms of what people often ask or wonder or don't understand about how they can have input into the budget development process. And I tried to include links for people so that they can understand at every level, at our level at the school committee, as well as at the city level and the state level, how they can have a voice in the budget development process. So that's my snapshot, just nutshell of this document, and I wanted to know what people think. So I will open that for discussion. Elizabeth, you have your hand up.
Kate, it's just beautiful. It's just wonderful. Thank you so much for doing all of this work. And thank you, Karen, for getting all of the things together. And this is exactly what we need. And I really like what you wrote in the FAQ and how you said how we want to hear from everyone, but linked the policies for people to be mindful about. That's really wonderful. I'm just wondering how I can be helpful as the secretary. I can input all of this into our calendar just so the people are.
Yeah, I think if it's approved tomorrow, yeah, it makes sense to do that.
Yeah, obviously based on approval, but I just want to make sure what like what my workload will be. So I'll input all of these dates, and I'm just assuming with my own knowledge of jargon that W and M means ways and means, and B and F is budget and finance, and just making
Yes.
sure that I've got the
Yes.
correct.
I tried to spell those out in the first instance that they occur in the calendar, and then you use the acronym thereafter. But if I missed one, or if you see an issue with like word choice or anything like that, please chime in, anyone.
What is CIP?
Capital Improvement Program.
Okay, right. Okay, and then CIC, Capital Improvement Committee.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
I know we hate acronyms and try not to use them too much on school committee, but
we can put them in that
page is a really small area and some of those things. So it was necessary for some. Anne?
I think the only one we miss is the first B and F, but the rest I was able to see right away, the parenthetical.
Okay.
Yeah, I echo what Elizabeth said. This is wonderful, and I can't wait for this to be easily accessible to the community.
Okay. So that that would kind of lead us into next steps about engaging the community and making the calendar and its process as accessible as possible to people, which we'll save for another meeting. Karen, I wanted to know, I mean, I know you've already looked at it, but I just wanted to be sure that the pieces there that relate to the school administration sound accurate to you. And also, when we were talking about this over the course of the past few months, we did talk about the need to help people understand the most important things that administration is doing in this process without pigeonholing you into anything. So I just wanted to make sure that this strikes the right balance and is accurate.
Thanks, Kate. No, I agree. It's wonderful. It's a great timeline. I think some of the department meetings that we're going to have internally with regards to redistricting and realigning fifth and eighth grade might happen in the calendar a bit early internally, so that
Mhm.
we know where we stand. But obviously, those are things I will continually include to the Budget and Finance Subcommittee so that everyone's on the same page, just so
Right.
moving forward that transition in 2025 is smooth, but that we're budget sound as well.
Okay. And I would also just say that this is, it's a document that is amendable, changeable, as things come up. If something needs to be adjusted, then that's possible. This is not like a stone tablet. It's just a little PDF. So, we can always adjust as we go along. But hopefully this is a good, just basic framework to start with for people. Okay, further discussion or comments, suggestions, other than that first B and F mention? Okay, so with that, I just want to take a quick vote on a motion. I will move that we bring this proposed budget development calendar to the full school committee for approval at tomorrow's meeting. And it is on the agenda.
I enthusiastically second that motion.
Okay. And we'll just take a roll call. I will be a yes. Member Childs,
Yes.
Member Deneve.
Yes.
Okay, so that carries and we'll bring that forward tomorrow to the full school committee. And if it's approved, lovely. If it's not and it gets kicked back to us, well, then we'll have to come back to the drawing board. But I did want to go ahead and schedule, if possible, a subsequent budget and finance meeting since we're all here. That way we will have one on the calendar for a couple of things. One, if we do need to come back and adjust anything per feedback from the whole committee. And two, going into what you said earlier and about making this accessible to the community, engaging the community. The next couple of things that would come up on this budget development calendar are to discuss how exactly the committee would like to implement our own policy about engaging the public and gathering public input and feedback in the budget development process, which is policy DBD. It's referenced there in the calendar. We already have a number of different ways which are elucidated in that page 3 on this calendar for people to participate in this process, but I do think it bears some discussion about whether the committee would like to do more and when. So I would like to schedule a meeting at least about those couple of things. And I think we will also tackle the subject of just a review of our end of year accounting for FY24 based on some questions that have been brought to me. So those 3 things I would like to talk about in an upcoming meeting. And Karen and Andy, I don't know if are you in a spot where you could schedule a meeting right now, or do you want to come back to that by email?
I could do it right now. I think
Okay.
Andy would be amenable to that as well. How far out are you looking, Kate?
Not too far. Let's see. If we were to look at the week after next, Would that be reasonable? That would be the week of the 23rd.
We do have a handbook subcommittee meeting that we pre-scheduled for the 23rd of September, I
True.
believe.
True that.
So,
And you and I will be at that. So,
Yeah, so
um,
that thing. But I'm
Okay.
free the rest of that week,
Okay.
other than that Monday.
And you are on the bus in the afternoon still, is that correct?
Yeah, tech is kind of late, so I don't get done and finished until I can't do anything until 5:30 or 6.
Okay. Can you do anything before the bus?
Yeah, I have time like this. I'm pretty free during the day. I'm just home working, so I can move things around. I just have to
Okay.
be completely hard stop at 1:30 every day.
Okay. So Anne, what about you? Do you have availability at this kind of midday time, like noon?
Yep, this lunchish time is an easy meeting time for me. And
Oh.
the week we're looking at, the Friday, I'm not available, but the rest of the week I have flexibility.
Okay. So Karen and Andy, do you have any availability like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that week during that sort of lunch period? I can't hear you, Karen. You're muted.
Oh, thought I clicked it. Sorry. Tuesday, the 24th is my only availability. We have the district walkthroughs the rest of the week with Teaching Lab
Okay.
and SSOS. So, but
Okay.
Andy and I are both available at noon on the 24th, if that works for everyone
Okay.
else.
All right, let's set that then. 12 o'clock noon on Tuesday, the 24th will be our next meeting. All right, with that, there is nothing else on the agenda and I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that one. All in favor? Say
Aye.
aye. And we are adjourned at 12:48 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Have a
rest
good
of the
See
day.
everybody tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.